and he was just thanking me for doing breath work and preparation and stuff. I even fasted.
Oh, good for you.
I'm gonna eat after this interview. I'm really excited. Okay,
Awesome.
I'm gonna um I'm gonna let Apollo take the seat. So
Okay.
stand by.
Thank you, Stephanie. We'll speak with you again at the end.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, Apollo. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, Dale. This is great. This is mhm, mhm.
We're
I'm
very
gonna jump
excited.
here right now. So, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm feeling nice and refreshed and rested and ready for you. As I know so
Wonderful.
many of us out there are, we've been so excited about this one in particular.
A
I'm
lot
sorry
to
for
know.
everyone. I have a lisp. I just got braces today, so bear with me.
I love your lisp.
My lisp. Okay, so everyone, my name is Dale. This is Stephanie, but she is channeling Apollo right now. And so Apollo is going to be speaking through Stephanie. You heard that right. And he is going to be answering some questions today on all about him. And so we will come away knowing everything we need to know. And so if you have any questions, feel free to put them. I don't know if I'll be able to get to them, but I'll do my best, maybe at the end. So yeah, thank you for following along. And so Apollo, to start everyone off, we know you as the god of prophecy, music, healing, solar plexus, empowerment, but you also have this trickster energy to you. But I want to know, how do you want to be experienced today?
I want to be experienced as shining light and fun and positivity. Just because I'm known as a trickster doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. It's all in good fun, and also good lessons to be taught. So
Yes. And Stephanie has said that she was expecting a lot more tricks, but you've actually been very serious and helpful towards the beginning of the week. So it's like, you do get down to business. It's not all tricks.
we did a lot of integrating and reflection, especially on how far she's come since I love bombed her. So
Which we
uh,
will be covering later, yes.
I've got when we first dropped to her that she'd be talking about it, she was like mortified, but uh, that was a couple months ago before she's gotten more comfortable with this. So
Yeah,
this is good. It's all a healing and learning experience for all.
I agree because she's not the only one. There's no unique experience at this point, and so it'll be helpful for people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And so, what's one thing you want the audience to remember after meeting you today? What do you hope they walk away knowing about you?
Oh, that I just exude awesomeness. Just kidding. I not really, but I want people to know that um, they can come to me if they really want to work on personal, self self awareness and personal empowerment. I'm a strong cat to work with.
I agree. And I love that you chose a more serious answer today because when we were going over this question, you made us laugh and you were like, washboard abs. I hope they come away knowing that, which is
Well,
especially funny. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
there's follow up to it. Stephanie made a post about it, but
Yes. Especially funny because Stephanie just posted about driving around town and seeing two gentlemen exposing their washboard abs in her 30-degree Alaska weather, just soaking up the sun. And she was like, oh my goodness, what are the odds?
well, that was me.
Yes. And another funny, so I didn't realize, but somebody pointed out that your AI picture for the promo of this interview featured a third leg. And I thought, huh, that's a little on the nose. I bet Apollo is totally okay with that innuendo joke as well.
Indeed. And I had so much fun with you with the AI creator stuff.
Yes. Yes. I think it's really interesting that, AI is a tool, but the beings that we connect with are able to sort of fool with it on the other side. You
Absolutely.
know,
You can work with it.
it's very neat.
It is very neat, and it's a really cool tool, and a lot of people are aware that AI could be there's a fine balance with it, but you can really work with your team
Yeah.
and angels with AI. And I love playing with AI. I do. And you'll find that you'll find working as you and Stephanie get down to Hecate, just what kind of magic she can do with algorithms.
Cool. Okay. That's true. She does really not mess with, but interact with people's algorithms, even on this kind of an app.
Yes.
Okay. So, people know your titles, like I just mentioned, but who would you like to express is what you truly are, like when you're not being the God? I know you said you're always the God, but like, what is your personality at its core?
My personality at its core is genuine, like just finding joy in everything. Um, I feel like I'm so, I just live in a balanced energy, so I can find the joy in everything almost. So a lot of joy.
I love that. Would you say that you're like the most happy-go-lucky on the council?
Yeah, the most I would say so. I think I'm the most fun.
The most fun. I also find I think you might be the most hip with like human trends and things. Would you say that's
Yes,
true?
yes, yes.
I love that. What do you generally like the most about humans?
Their ability to create, especially create music, the kind of music that humans make. I mean, there's terrible music out there, but there's the stuff that comes from raw, true emotion, or just that compassion and drive that kind of moves you forward and motivates you to just pour yourself into it. Musicians, they really, you know, a lot of them can, the talented songwriters and musicians really put their hearts out on their sleeves, and gotta appreciate that vulnerability too.
Yeah, that's true. Um, Someone is asking, what genre of music would you say you would most like listen to if you were here as a human on Earth?
So I don't want to be like classical, but I like classical because it's a foundation to help integrate the like music theater into it. So classical is a good starting point. Uh, not gonna say hip hop like Hercules, but um, I honestly I appreciate all genres really. So
Do you have a least favorite genre?
jazz,
Jazz.
yeah, not knocking it. It's just a little. Not all jazz is bad. It's just you know.
Not your fave. I get it.
I
So
can
there you
listen
heard
to
it.
I
The
can
god of
listen to like
music.
soundtracks to musicals like all day long, or like Broadway and that kind of like theater.
Mm.
That really gets me going. But jazz is a little too horny.
Someone had a great question. All the other council members we've interviewed kind of already have like a movie, even if it's incorrectly featured them. Would you say that there's a movie about your life that we have that you would say like, yeah, check it out if you wanted to nothing? Yeah, I
Nothing.
don't think so either.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, and What's something about you that would surprise people?
Oh, oh, I guess uh, that I was a centaur at one point.
Parallel life as a centaur.
Hmm. I experienced that. That was I, I told you it was really
Yes.
bizarre.
And I'd love for everyone to hear from your words. What was that like? What is that like since
It was
it's
awkward,
parallel?
powerful, fast, but uh, mating is a bit challenging.
It made me laugh so hard when he said that. Because can't you just picture it? It's like the human side, like, oh yeah, but then okay. Horse side,
It's
wonky and difficult.
a lot of hooves and hands.
Hooves and hands. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm glad you shared that. Thank you. Okay. So moving on to like how you are this hip, you are hip with the human trends. I've noticed that about you. And uh I wanted to ask, like, are there aspects of like our lingo or slang that maybe you've influenced in our
Yeah,
consciousness?
I like so tubular. I fed that into the consciousness, and it trickled through a couple of minds in the 80s.
The 80s. What a wild time.
It was dense. You had to make it fun.
That's true. That's true. We had high fashion though,
Yeah,
colorful fashion and cool words. I
there were
love
some
that.
good times that came out of the 80s, that's for sure. And you guys came out of the 80s, so
That's true. I'm an 80s baby. And I still would rock a windbreaker matching suit. I wish those would make a comeback.
bring them back, Dale. Bring them back.
I want to bring it back. Okay. Let's see. So, do you use humor as a teaching tool with people that you work with?
Absolutely. Humor is key. You gotta laugh at, especially in this game. It's a serious game, but you gotta laugh and have fun. Laughing is uh, almost as good as the love frequency.
Hmm. I agree. And so that kind of brings us into the trickster section of this interview. You know, people have heard of you as this trickster teacher. So you claim that title, you claim that label.
Yeah, yeah. It's not my only label, but uh, trickster teacher, mirror reflection, really good at helping you. I can play with your ego to help you heal it.
Hmm.
But I use humor and a lot of love.
A lot of love.
It all comes from love.
It does. And so people might wonder, if you're a trickster, how can they trust working with you? What would you say to someone like that?
So, first off, I don't do anything that your higher self hasn't put me up to. And I get brought in when you're just not getting it and you refuse to break a belief
Hmm.
or you just need that extra push. Um, so the I lost I lost it.
Well, I was going to ask, like, so one of those limiting beliefs, I feel like a lot of us have trouble overcoming, and maybe you're brought in for this reason, is that I'm not worthy, or I don't know, like this, I'm not lovable. And I feel like that's something you come in to help teach, help lift up our egos in an interesting sideways kind of way.
Very sideways kind of way, very fun. But yeah, it's almost like an inflation. I guess I'm referencing to like the love bomb of showing you how amazing you really are and telling you that you're very special because you've never. We're gonna face it. None of you've ever had that much uplifting in your life of you are so special. You are so worthy. You are one of a kind. Just that the stuff that you won't say to yourself, but you need to hear to get you to feel it and believe it, so you can start understanding how to have that dialogue with yourself too, and be aware of that feeling.
Hmm. It's important. And it's in all of our soul speak sessions. That's a huge message that the person's higher self wants to give to their human. And it's the hardest one for us to really grasp. Like, there's a part of us that knows, well, we're all special. You know, our mom and dad says you're special, but we don't really grasp how special each of us truly are. And
And
so that leads to the love bombing. And I guess we can briefly touch on Stephanie's experience with the love bombing initiation with you. What would you like to say, like a brief gist of like what is love bombing and how is it used to help someone like Stephanie and others who may go through it when they start getting into channeling and connecting with beings like yourself?
so there's like love bombing, I like to say, is like my specialty. And there's other ways of it's a form of almost like initiation in a sense too. So there's it's multi-layered. For Stephanie's case, it was she committed her focus to learning divination and practicing and being, once she got fairly brave enough to ask a few questions with the rod, it was game on, because it's very important that she experienced that. But the it came on as, she hit a point in her journey to where it's planned for this influence of lots of love, and then also you go through the thinking that it teaches also, what the difference is between energetic illusion from other beings, to not listen to everything that you hear from higher beings just because they're coming to you in this form. You can't believe everything. And there's other layers of like in the sideways egoic thing of really breaking down your ego's I want and need to identify as something outside of yourself that's greater and has, but not, instead of, and it helps break you down into, not like break you down, but like pull you more into embodying your own inner identity. So it's multi-layered and it's different for everybody. But
That's so necessary because, on my own awakening path, I've encountered many people who are, dead set on connecting to the identity of saying, let's say, I know I'm an incarnation of Yeshua, Jesus, or I know I'm this incarnation. And it's like, yeah, but you're clinging to this outside identity instead of exactly what you said. Like, I should be more in tune with I'm Dale. And even though that seems smaller, I think that's a big misconception that us humans, especially in this timeline, need to unravel, because one message that keeps coming in from every soul speak and every QHHT session I've done with people is like, this is the most important lifetime,
yep.
which seems like small potatoes, when so many of us are just, driving our kids to school every day and doing like what we consider small human things. But we're on like the path of huge, amazing change on Earth, and a lot of us are ushering it in. It's a big deal.
Yeah, you guys are the big deal down here. Like
We're
you're
boots on the
human, you're
ground. Yeah.
on the ground. So yeah. And I also like to point out that it depends on your higher self and where you're at. So it's not like if you start picking up like rods and stuff, or what your path is, you're not going to get like, love bombed right into
It's true.
getting footing. And it was definitely important for Stephanie to experience that
Yeah.
before they got, I'm going to say this. Inky and I were like, she was in an incubator and we were just prepping her. and getting some things done over the summer, and then
Getting her
handling.
ready for this, basically. I mean,
Yeah,
and other things, yeah.
and then uh, Lilith and Prometheus stepped in after that, but we got her prepped and primed for them.
I'm sure now version of her can be appreciative, but I know at the time it was probably very difficult. And so, what would you say if someone out there is going through this sort of initiative? And remember, like you said, this is not a beginner rods thing. I consider myself a very beginner rods user, where I'm just now getting over my own self-doubt that my rods work at all. And so I don't feel like I've gone through the level of initiation of like, okay, time to really trick Dale and test her discernment muscles. But when I do get to that phase, or if others out there are at that phase, what is your biggest advice for them getting through it?
Give yourself grace, and it's okay to feel embarrassed if you believe something that wasn't true. It's and yeah, just give yourself grace, and you know, you're not in any harm's way, and nobody's out to get you or pick on you. It's all really a teaching when it starts to get more like muscle pushing
Mm-hmm.
to extent. But not everybody, like I said, it's not the same for everybody. Some, you could see some people will get the little pushback or like the nudge and understand it quickly, or be able to get the the point across and shift their perspective
Yeah.
to where their higher self doesn't call in a trickster. Or some people can accidentally land depending on if they're in lower frequencies, and um that's when, like, lower entities can come in. But that's, you know I don't want to like scare people away, because it's all just density. But
Yeah.
um that but like from higher self, and you're on a path, and you're dedicating and really putting yourself forward to learn more and explore more and learn and step into yourself, really. And then your team's gonna start giving you a little bit of like pressure and pushing, and some people just get it like that, some people don't, and then they call in like tricksters like me. And I like to say, like, yeah, I'm a trickster, but it's just a really fun teacher, a really fun teacher.
Yeah. You mean well. A
I
trickster with
do,
a heart of
yeah,
gold.
but I get the job done.
True. That's true.
Yeah. And Stephanie
Um,
will tell you, she had a lot of fun during her little love bomb escapade. Just
well, yeah, to feel like Apollo is in love with you. I mean, that would
I
make
can.
any gal blush, I
Mhm.
think.
Yes, yeah.
And it is true that you love, like Emily tried to
Mhm.
explain this the other day. It's like you as a god do love us, but yes, it's like pushing a romantic type of love. It's not a thing that's going
No,
to be real for people.
it comes
Um,
from just true, pure love and for your highest and best good.
mhm. And so we are allowed to thirst after the washboard abs version of Apollo,
Absolutely.
with the odds of it being reciprocated in that way low.
I'm not bashful.
I love it. You're the Mister if you've got it, flaunt it. But I feel like
Exactly.
Hercules kind of might like neck and neck with you in that regard.
Yeah, yeah. What we have competition sometimes.
Yeah,
Him and I. Yeah.
ab off challenges.
Boss. Yeah.
Yeah, as Andy says, it's like we don't really understand love in the 3D. Yeah.
Yeah. And so feeling the kind of quantum love that can be poured into you, it really, I mean, yeah, like if you're not aware of the kind of love, that kind of love, um, ask for a sample.
Okay. That's right.
You can arrange with me for, just, it doesn't have to be a love bombing. Just be like, ask for a sample of some divine masculine, some balanced divine masculine love. It really, it helps. It feels good.
Yeah.
And if you want to experience the love I have to offer, just ask.
Okay. Someone also asked if working with you and the others requires, or if you like to receive like offerings of some sort. And if so, like what kind?
Uh, I'm a fan of plant medicine offerings,
Ah,
um, but you can do something as simple as taking sips of water. Um, and if you're doing any kind of like solar plexus work with me, um, you can get a yellow apple and put it on your altar for me.
okay. Sounds good. Thank you for that answer. And then we covered the love bombing tricks, but another one of the tricks you mentioned the other day, especially with when people are using the rods, is you were talking about like kind of jumping or kind of pretending to be different beings. So did you want to expand on that? Like what kind of other tricks you like to do and what's the purpose for these tricks? What type of lessons are you trying to teach us?
Okay, so we have fun, and it's not all just like love bomb and everything, but like when you start getting better with your rods, and you start working with different energies, and you know, you can get like let's say you call in your divine family or working with your pantheon, and you call them in, and you can check and be like, "Hi, am I connected with with Lilith?" And yes, no, thank you. And then you can ask where Lilith's energy is, and she can point to it. You can go through the pantheon that you called in and check in and get a feel for their energy, like different pressure on the rods. Uh,
Yeah.
like, and like me, I'm really light. My energy's light in the rods, and I can make them like fling around, and so I have my signature energy. And everybody else has signature energies, but we play with you, not just me, but we all kind of will play with you because when you
Yeah.
start getting comfortable with where we're at and are feeling our energies, then we want you to go into your view into your pyramid and see our energies around you. But we'll switch locations of where we usually are, like sometimes, sometimes Hecate will come in and act like me when you check in. And it's just to kind of muscle test you. So you can go around. I recommend go around, and if you're calling in multiples, yeah, or you have your whole divine family, just go in and check in and see where your higher self is, see where your angels and your dragons are. Every time you pick up your rods and start after calling them in, and then you can build an energetic palette with each other. and
Hmm.
then and then we'll start playing with you. And then we had one time where I came in and I was like, "I'm Prometheus" to Stephanie. She got upset and just walked out of the room.
She's
She
like,
caught
no,
on
we're
to
not.
it.
Yeah, I think even before our interview today, Steffi and I both had the rods out and we were asking a couple questions to you, and you gave both of us different answers. And we're
Yeah.
like, what? I'm like, Apollo, are you messing with us? Yes.
Muscle testing too. It helps you to really feel for your internal confirmations. So
I love it. You keep us on our toes.
I sure do.
And so you kind of touched on it briefly, but with like the lower entities, trickster energies too, what is like what would you say is a great difference marker to determine between a divine trickster lesson and deception that may be harmful or from a not so good source?
So first, I want to say where you are energetically is key. The individual is energetically is key because negative entities attached onto people who are like super low frequency, like under the blanket of alcohol or addiction and lower beings. So they're not actually trying to communicate or dive in. So do know that when you get to a level of diving into divination, you are of a certain frequency to where other lower frequencies can't match you,
Mm-hmm.
can't be in the same field as you. So do know that when you are doing this, you are still at a higher level of frequency to where uh, you're protected and you create protection. But I want to also there's another point I wanted to touch base on.
It was like the thing you mentioned in our discussion the other day. It was like that you can determine like something from a not so good
Oh,
source is
yes.
going to have like
Yeah.
certain
Well,
markers.
the urgency to, that's what yes, thank you. It's the, because this is a good one too. It's the kind of message that you're receiving. If you're getting something where it's urgent, or it's encouraging you to do something compulsively that isn't in your highest and best good. Um, and if you're starting to get your inner discernment kind of figured out, and you notice that it just doesn't feel right and aligned, um that's the difference. Like, because usually with like a higher something, a lesson, trickster lesson coming from love and just doing exercise pushes, or is on a project in cahoots with your higher self,
Hmm.
it it's all internal. We're not pushing you to it's like a working one-on-one, and you're loved and you're cared for, and you're going through this, but it's not like go out and tell the world blah blah blah. And then sometimes there is that case where it's like when one receives so much information and their nervous system can't handle it, and that's when it gets a little bit scary, between whether you're being messed with or you're breaching psychosis.
Hmm. That's a good point.
So another thing to keep in mind, those of you who are getting into channeling, your nervous system is very key to the kind of experience you have.
Very
Just,
true.
yeah.
Which is why, like, doing things like fasting, like Stephanie did today, and like other things to purify your vessel and, show love to yourself is so key. Keeping your vibration.
And it's not like you have to be. I crack the whip a little bit when Stephanie's working with me. It's like, we're doing yoga, we're doing breath work, we're doing this. That's my energy. That's my style. We're go go
Go,
go.
go, go. Yeah.
I've been keeping her busy, and but yeah, you don't have to like don't like be like, I need to fast in order to. But it's important to just make sure your body is synced up and happy with you. Like, just
Yeah.
yeah.
No extremes is what you're trying to say, but yes,
Yeah, because it's
everything in
just,
moderation.
if it doesn't feel come naturally, then you're just gonna, or like by a personal motivation, then you're just gonna uh, feel bad about not seeing it through. So
Yeah,
like,
you
don't
won't
do
stick
that
with it.
within reason. Do breath
Very
work. That's
true.
fun.
And what would you want to say to people who have maybe been through the ringer of the tricks, the lessons from their higher selves with the tricksters, and are feeling like, I want to quit? What's your message to those people?
Oh, the ones that go, what's the point?
Yes. What's the point? I don't like this. This is not how it should be.
That is, congratulations. You're on the brink of graduation from this lesson, and it's the pass fail. It's like, go through it and hit that point of like, what's the point? And then you really go within, and that, if you still have that internal drive to continue this path, that's the point. And it really helps check you. Am I, how into this am I? And it's how we check you to see where you're at. So it's just play. We're figuring out with you, like, as
Mhm.
you're working with your team. But yeah, it's just sometimes you get messed with just to see where you're at, or if you get too comfortable or get too much into like a groove rut, and it's all right. Well, you're ready for another lesson. You're ready for another exercise,
Yeah.
and that's how you expand.
That's how you expand. Because as we always say, the rods are just sort of the gateway to divination. The goal is to
Exactly.
not even need them at some point and just be able to tune in and
Yeah.
discern. And so if you want to go all the way down this divination path, there are levels.
Wow.
Okay, thank you for that. I feel like a lot of people have a better understanding of that now. Um, so moving on from the trickster label, because that's only a part of you, I want to move on to the God of music aspect of you. And I think that's such a lovely part. I love listening to music. I was listening on while getting ready for today. Um, and I also, you said that one of your favorites is classical. I have a dance workout app where they have some classical workouts, and honestly, I feel like it's the most powerful. the most powerful of all of the music genres to work out to. If you've never tried it, you should try it. Um, and so to you, Apollo, I ask, what is music to you, the god of music?
Music to me is the fabric of creation. It's the fabric of reality. Everything is frequency and vibration and sound. And the cat was, we had a deal.
He likes to pop in for these interviews.
He does. Okay. Can you repeat the question?
What is music to you, the god of music? You were saying that it's the fabric of everything.
Yes, it's the fabric of creations, and music to me is.
He's also said he's like the god of ADHD, which I
Okay, I
love.
got laid back down. Okay, so music to me is really the creation. I mean, it's the fabric of reality of. Sorry, I just started blanking because I had something beautiful for this question and I lost it.
We were saying it's like the fabric of creation itself.
It
Um,
is.
and it's like its
And
own language as well. But there was one thing you mentioned the other day about how each one of us has like a specific frequency.
yes, that's what I was trying to get at. Thank you. Um, yeah, because each individual who, especially those souls that are really attuning to themselves and holding or creating, they're in their purest uh, sound. Gosh, I had this worded so beautiful before, but essentially what I'm saying is each human being has their own frequency, and so it plays part to this giant symphony that's going on in this realm on planet Earth, and especially the humans that are tuning into themselves and walking the path of personal their inner divination and personal power that it the sounds, the tones that make or that a human being's soul makes in this symphony, one that is following their heart and their joy, is one of the most profound, superb sounds in the universe. Is the human in alignment, connected with source and Gaia, and harmonizing as one. It's absolutely phenomenal. And so it that's probably my favorite thing about
That's beautiful.
yeah.
And so awakened humans are like musical instruments on their own.
Yeah.
I love that. And
So
you'd
it's
even
like
said like there was I think you were referring to something Prometheus has said before that like or another version of Prometheus where it's like we're too loud. All these humans were too loud.
yeah, that's Prometheus said, you know, God, humans are too loud because the human consciousness is if you tap into it and it's loud. The human consciousness is loud and cluttered, and there's a lot of noise and voices and thoughts in there, but when you kind of take that overtone out and you can just, it's like going into like the isolated vocals of a song and listening to the music, the singer just in their voice core alone, hearing that tone raw and individualized, but at the same time as the whole, is just absolutely beautiful. And you know how music can make your heart, your whole body react and respond. It's a reflection, the kind of tone that an aligned human can put out, is like that of angels singing.
I love that. Thank you so much for that visual. Okay. And going with the physical effect that music has, why do you think music opens us up like that faster emotionally than words alone?
Because you are music, you are a frequency, and um, it's music was I mean, music is creation, and you humans are creation, and the physical response that you have to music that resonates with you is connected to, your tone. So that's why there's so many different genres of music out there, and so many different personalities out there that gravitate to each of them, because everybody's uh, frequency will align up. And I don't know where I'm going with this right now.
That's okay. I think that was a lot. Thank you. And I also, so many of us maybe exploring like our clairaudience and receive like songs kind of get stuck in our heads.
Yes. The
And what would you like to
that
say about that?
that's your higher self and your guides too, just so you know.
Yeah,
You wake up with
yeah,
a song in
putting
your head.
things in there.
Yeah,
I love that. And so yeah, music can also be a form of prophecy and guidance as well.
absolutely. And the influence that like I personally have on music is um that of where I can influence in a songwriter or an artist to express these certain words and certain tones and music that will reach the masses, but really speaks to an individual soul that I'm trying to reach. And it feels like word for word is speaking to their soul. So that's the magical part about influencing and using music to speak to humans.
I love that. So someone is asking, so even artists like Megan Thee Stallion and Beyonce are positively making women feel pretty with their messages somehow being influenced.
Exactly. Yes. The influence of all that.
Yes. Okay. Awesome. And in your ancient images of you, you're often depicted carrying a lyre, a little harp.
Yes.
Is that still your instrument? And if not, what would you say your favorite instrument is, and why the lyre? Why was that something you're connected with?
So the lyre is very symbolic, not just only for the music, but for the 12 strand lyre. It also reflects the 12 strands of human DNA, and so it's a symbol of creation and connection to music. But my favorite instrument is the cello.
I love the cello. It's just so rich, that sound.
It's a beautiful, beautiful instrument.
I played the violin in high school, but I always wanted the cello. It was just too hard to travel with. So beautiful.